right, the deadline for filing the income tax returns for individual taxpayers is the 30th of June every year if you're in Kenya. But if you're in any other country, you can also tell me which dates you get to file your tax returns. There's a very general sense of panic when it's around this time. Have I filed my returns from before? Do I have any penalties? How do I file it? What kind of bracket am I in? And that might create some emotional turmoil, right? And we're also going to address that in this conversation. How are you doing mentally when it comes to taxes? And how should you approach the issue of taxes and filing of tax returns? I'm here with, and I'm very rightfully informed that this is Mike, is the CEO and founder of Mentors Africa. Welcome to the show.
Sana Richard.
Very glad to have you.
Me hata mimi nashukuru sana.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to be here. And especially when I see young people coming up, presenters, educating the society.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio swag.
Yes.
Swag sio kutoa suruali. Na kusag na kuha, swag ni kuelewa knowledge. If knowledge changes you, if you understand what I should do and what I should not do, then we're good to go.
That's true.
Stress inaisha.
Kabisa.
Story ya tax nishaelewa tu ni hivi na hivi na hivi. Stress ingine ni nini?
Right.
Na ndio tuwa.
Introduce to our viewers for the first time, the ones who are seeing you for the first time, and then now we can get to put into context what we are discussing here.
My name is Patrick Maina. Guys who knows me, Mike. I work with the Professional Mentors of Africa as the founder, the CEO. And I believe on mentorship. Believe on journeying with, walking with. By profession, I'm a psychologist by profession. And I've worked with many institutions in this country. Many institutions, even KDF, I worked with them. Just looking about the mindset, how we change our mind, how we look at things differently. When you look at things differently, positively, positive angle, then we move. Okay. Yeah, that's the whole thing I do.
All right. There's a very big discussion in the country with matters of taxes, this tax, that tax. Why is it important? Maybe we can start there and then get to know the other issues that are surrounding tax returns and filing of tax returns. Why is it important that we pay taxes and also file tax returns? Is this a patriotic activity that we are taking part in, or how do we view it?
Richie, let me tell you. Yeah. Civic education is powerful, and that's what you're doing. It's the key because our good books, spiritual books, one say, my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. And when you don't have a knowledge, then you complain. When you complain, you start now feeling bad. So performance as a human person goes down. You start now hating everyone, talking bad about the country and your country, talking about, it's all about, I am not ready to learn. I'm not ready to understand what is this and this and this. So tax is very important to understand it. To understand that the country cannot run. We are part of the story. If you're part of the story of Kenya, when you talk about truth, then I should know Kenya operate like how. You're not operating from the moon. Is even other country operating the same. Right. So it is very important to know your country and the functionality of your country. It's very important also to know yourself and functionality of yourself. So the same thing. I live in Kenya. There is tax. It is helping me. There are so many services we are getting because of that money. Governors need, there's the issue of governors. We have a president, we have this and this. I took part in that. I know they have to move one point to another one for my sake and my children and my generation. Right. So taxes is important. Right. It's very important. Even in the Bible, it was there. In the old time, it was there.
People are paying taxes for eternity.
Umpe Kaisari kilicho chake Kaisari. Na umpe Mungu. Ilikuwa.
Na hii mwezi we are taking our returns. We are filing our returns to call him Kaisari. Giving back to Caesar. Yeah. We're giving a report back to Caesar. And this happens every single year, and I'm sure this is a phenomenon all across the world. How should people approach filing of tax returns?
Number one, we need to know every June lazima turudishe. But also kuna zile per month you're doing your returns by 20th every month if you're in business. Niko kwa biashara nafanya hivi, but at June that first ule ako employed lazima afanye tax or return. The country need accountability need to be seen. because I'm accountable. I belong to the country. I'm accountable to that country. So whatever nimepata na kila kitu na vitu zote nimefanya kwa biashara, nafaa ni return, ndio even the country that I'm accountable to, they understand where I stand. And they understand also how they will operate the next financial year. Tutaoperataje, hizi zimefanywa, because kuna watu wengine sasa wameignore. So inabidi KRA to take their responsibility to follow might ambaye hajafollow, Riti ambaye hajafanya hivi na hivi na hivi, because kuna watu wanadandia tu. Wanadandia. Na hao wakudandia ndio wana make a lot of noise.
Okay.
Unaona? So baada ya kudandia, let me be part of the story. Let me be part of the story. By that first, kuna deadline. In this country, if you don't put, not even this country, anything you're doing, you must have a target, you must have deadlines. So it is not something that is new.
Okay.
It is something that I need to embrace it, and I realize by June 31st I should do this and this.
Right.
The moment I know that one, I will love it.
Right. That's one of those deadlines that people should be aware of. You said there's a monthly as well for businesses and various brackets as well. And then kuna hiyo individual remittance of filing of tax returns at by 30th of June. That's one of those deadlines, right? And how do you see are the mistakes, or maybe some common mistakes that you've seen people make before or during filing of tax returns? One
mistake ya kwanza ni waiting the last minute.
I'm sure that's happening a lot in this month.
Right now hata zina hang. Si kumaanisha ati we don't have good system. Lakini wewe una imagine I had time to look about nimekaribia, I will do this and this and this and this. But now the biggest mistake that we do, all of us will wait for the last minute. So pale hivyo sasa hivi kumejaa hivi. KRA imekuja baka na technologies where you can do it through your phone, through this and this and this, but we are not ready for that.
Right.
Sijui shida ile tuko nayo sisi, mimi kama Mkenya, because I should understand, and I think we should be encouraged more and more to encourage young people, to encourage everybody, every Kenyan citizen, that mazee usigoje last minute, because last minute itakuwai. Ikisha kuwai, what will happen after that? Unakasirika na hiyo gava. Unajam na hiyo gava. Because there are consequences of delaying.
Right.
There are consequences when you don't do it. When there are consequences when you don't meet your target, either positive or negative, they are there. So to avoid those consequences, can I prevent them before ifike hapo?
Okay.
And especially the biggest consequences when you don't do something, it affects your emotion. It affects the way you look at things. It affects the way when people talk about tax, then you start fighting everybody. Utapiga kila mtu in this country, you start now talking bad.
Right.
That is one of the major consequences.
Not filing on time, and also maybe waiting last minute is one of those common mistakes that people are making. Are there maybe any other that you've observed yourself?
There's also, if you don't file on time, kuna fine. Yeah.
Right.
Two, people not even following the right procedure that KRA have stipulated when you're doing the returns. Is another thing. Sijui ma ni kusoma ma ni shida ma understanding. Sijui nini. Then number two, even if I'm in business, how do I put my record right? Because for me to file, na nimekuwa nikifanya biashara, then I need to put my record vizuri. Nikifika wakati, ndio naona changamoto inakuja wakati wa filing, swali zingine zinakuja pale unachanganyikiwa, because if I have put things vizuri, nimefuatanisha vizuri, ikuwa niko kwa biashara, then filing haitakuwa changamoto.
Kweli.
Na ikuwa sielewi, then KRA is doing a lot in educating. A lot is outside there.
Right.
For you to read and to see, niko kwa biashara hii, nitafanyaje? Niko kwa hii, nitafanyaje? Niko employed, self-employed. Niko employed by a certain company. How do I do the returns and everything? So there is a lot of tutorials outside there. There's a lot of knowledge outside there for me to know how do I go about it.
Right, that is true, and there are those very many tax brackets that people should be aware of. As you said, there are businesses, and I just saw that KRA did an an audit of Equity Bank themselves, realize there's a time that they didn't do the correct filing or the remittances. So it's important that awareness is one of those things that people lack when it comes to filing of tax returns. And there are consequences, there are fines, and Squeezy, the KRA is very very stingy, I will say, with giving exemptions, or what do they call it? Reliefs for people who haven't already submitted their taxes from before. But when you talk about consequences, one of those things hiyo ni inasumbua watu kwa akili sana ni when you realize you have a fine, it's 5 years later, and you didn't do due diligence for the past 5 years. How do you think this affects a common mwananchi out here?
Richie, even before I come there, also I think to KRA also, they need to go an extra mile. They're doing good, an extra mile. Why not go to the existing institutions like churches? I don't know whether kwa church yetu mazee tukiletwa mtu wa KRA because it's patriotism, it's part of us loving our country, various places, na kuelezea tu because it's so friendly. But now what you brought now on board, the moment you don't do that now, it had the effect. The moment I'm not aware of something, it had the effect.
Okay.
And now then the question of the now emotions now. The moment it is like that, na nimepigwa fine, na maybe nimepata biashara, you don't know about tomorrow. Our God is a living God, Our God uko na company na kuna kitu nafaa kufanya and this na opportunity imekuja. But tax compliant hauna, then unarudi pale kwa mtandao kutafuta tax compliant. Richie, then you don't get it. Na hii ni opportunity umeangukia. What will happen with you? You start now feeling bad. You start now talking bad about the country. You start talking about the leaders who are there. You condemn them. You call them all sort of names. But the mistake was whose? Shida ile tuko nayo, nyani haoni kundule. Na nikiona kundule yangu, if I take my responsibility nione enyewe, if I could have done this before, there are other things ahead of me.
Okay.
Like now for the young people, I work with young people a lot. I tell young people, please understand policies of government. Understand opportunity ambaye ziko. Now one of the things within the government is tax. The moment hutaielewa, utakuwa mtu annoyed, utakuwa mtu akona mahasira, and it narrows down, trickles down. One moment I have gone through an experience of bad experience of taxes, it narrows down to the girlfriend ambaye nakatia. It's narrowed down to my wife. It narrows down to the where you have employed me, and nikifika tu pale, instead of serving people positively, niko na mahasira nimebeba.
Right.
Sio na mtu amekuja job alafu akona mahasira na shida nini baya wewe?
Ni tax haja ni file.
Ni tax ya file. So zile mahasira zikikuja, so inaanza kukuaffect.
Right. That's the negative side of it. What is the positive aspect to economic growth and investment in the country?
A lot. One, there's a benefit of you doing more business. That's number one. Because tax compliant tutapata. There's a benefit of our country, because it's not the benefit of the country, it's the benefit of me. There's a benefit of the more I file the tax, nimekuwa kwa profit ama sijakuwa kwa profit, whatever situation is, I'm in a position now, and by doing the returns and putting tax, I'll be in a position to get good health, a good hospitali poa. I'll be in a position to be served well by the leaders ambaye tumechagua, by filing the tax and everything, by paying the tax and kila kitu. I'll be in a position to benefit in so many things, in everything that we need the government to do for us. Because the government, pahali inaweza tu in this country of ours and other countries, is about paying the tax. So the services that we want, the services that I want as a Kenyan, I'll be in a position to receive them, to get them, because I'm part of that government. Right.
KRA has been doing a lot to ensure that tax compliance is happening. There's actually a website where you can tell on your neighbor, they are not paying taxes, this one, and then you get, I think, some sort of commission for that. But also, availing a digital platform to ensure that it's really easy for you. You don't have to go to a Huduma center or to KRA's office to, file your returns. How can technology and digital platforms in this way be used to ensure that more citizens are being tax compliant?
I think I'll give credit to KRA. Easy phone tuko nazo, we can do so much without going to Huduma Center. We are so smart on so many programs in our social media. So smart. The same, we have an icon of KRA you can download and everything and become smart in that KRA, in that issues of tax. So the technology, I think to me, it's a key component today. I don't have, unakumbuka kitambo, line ile ilikuwa inakuanga pale tao, line, imetoka all the way imeenda.
Naweza kosa kukumbuka. Sikuwa nimeanza kufile bado.
Oh, ya nadu walai. Them days, mazi, it's line umeipata, mazi, it's too long.
Yeah.
But technology imesaidia hata even some people doing shortcut. Imesaidia even some people will take advantage of people who don't understand. Because ukiwa nayo utajua. Knowledge becomes power.
Right.
Technology imesaidia at your comfort place. You can be in a position to file that tax at your comfort place. Technology imesaidia in even also in the civic education through technology. And some things we have said, it's all over. It's the information is there. So to me, technology is a plus.
Right.
We just need to look over our interest. Many people, what you're interested in is what you go for. When your interest is not based in a certain line, then I'll put it aside.
Right.
I'll not sitashughulika. So hata tukiweka kwa technology, tukiweka kwa app, tuweke wapi, and I'm not interested. Na kwa nikakiliki hivi, nika threat already, nakalenga. But it's very important. It's very important.
That people are very aware of, that. And at Pro Mentors, you told me just before you come here that there's an aspect of mentorship to taxes. How do you connect this?
Very important, very important. One, every company, my view, need to journey with the employees. Even a session within a month, just to give them knowledge. Because in this company, mi nakukata as my employee, nakukata. So ukiangalia pay slip yako, unaona ulikatwa. Hii walichukua pesa ya, unajua? Na maasira, you see. But if you bring the concept of not rules, not is a must, but the concept of understanding, the mentor, working with your employees, working with the young people, working with anybody who is supposed to do the tax, all of us are supposed to do that. And that's why the concept of mentorship comes in. Because the mentorship ni kutembea na wewe. To work with you, to understand, by the way, if you do this and this and this and this, it's very important. And also showing the people that are surrounding you. Because mentorship, that's all about mentorship. People surrounding you. Umuhimu wa hii na benefit ya hii ni hapa na hapa na hapa. So that's the concept of all mentorship. Then also onesha mtu ambaye mko na yeye, ambaye mnatembea na yeye, whoever the person, muoneshe, if you don't do this, it will lead you to this. It will affect you this way. So that by the word go, I have understand that what it is called tax is not punishment. It is something that it is within me. It's within all of us as Kenyans. So I think, and my feeling, very strong feelings, that we need a lot of mentorship in so many knowledge that are there within our country.
Do you feel like this might, when we are speaking about, the emotional turmoil that people get when maybe they are facing fines or they're not generally interested in filing tax returns? Sometimes the reason is that, wananikata pesa yangu na watumii kufanya kitu, right? Wananikata pesa yangu na nasikia wanaiba. Do you think mentorship will be a way of shining a positive light?
Bro, absolutely, it will be. It will be.
Okay.
Because the moment nimeelewa pale inaenda, then the avoid words. Sijui inaenda wapi.
Oh, okay.
The moment nimeelewa kwamba unaona kuna barabara ilitengenezwa super highway. The moment nimetembea, labda hujatembea pale nimetembea. Nimetembea a certain way, a certain area. And 5 years of some years ilikuwa mbaya. Right now the road is so smooth. Kuli pesa ilitoka wapi? You get? It's still our money and everything. The moment you walk and you have exchange programs with other people, maybe vijana wa Mombasa wamekam Nairobi, wajaiona barabara kama zile ziko Nairobi, you start now appreciating the country. Umeenda hospitali fulani inakaa namna hii kuliko, you know, then you start now seeing the moment we have exchange programs, we have issues of sharing ideas, issue of sharing good things within and what our country have done, then we are in a position to love our country. Then we can now talk about patriotic. We can now talk about najivunia kuwa Mkenya. Si wakati itatokea kwamba nimepigwa fine. Unajua kuna kitu kingine ambaye ni changamoto sana. Ukipigwa fine ya kwanza unatupa mkono, unarusha mkono, but you forget the next day itakuja. So you start piling. I'm telling you. ile hate speech utatoa hii Kenya itakuwa mingi, na ignorance yako tu. It's just yours. So in civic education it need a lot of a soft landing, a soft way of passing things. Ni kama tu behavior change, a soft way. It's not a command, it's not a punch.
It should feel good to file your taxes.
Yeah, even KRA, can they send even some soft messages just to remind us, you know, just to do this and this and this. Soft messages, even sending the message individually to my mate, even telling, hey, thank you, last month you did this and this and this, thank you, tunakushukuru, you know. Soft messages. It's part of mentorship. Right. It's part of working with people, part of awareness. So that's my take about mentorship.
I have a very critical question to ask you, and this is regards to tax evasion, tax avoidance, and tax exemption. Are there people in our society who don't pay taxes, and are they allowed to not do that? And how maybe can I get myself also not to, or to be on that side where I'm tax exempt? Is that something that individuals get, or how does that happen?
We are all the same. We are all equal. But kati yetu, we cannot be ignorant to realize kuna wengine wako na changamoto kwa maisha. Kuna wengine kwamba ako na changamoto hata ya kutembea. Kuna mwingine ako na changamoto nyingine. I can't compare ule mtu ambaye ako na changamoto na mimi. Mimi naweza fanya kazi mingi kuliko ule mtu labda miguu hana. So I think it's right for government kumpa huyo nafasi, labda analeta gari ndio imsaidie, na hiyo gari ni special kwa sababu ataendesha na mikono, ataendesha na miguu. You see, talking to me as a Christian and as a human person, then huyo anafaa kuna pahali utaona enyewe inabidi. So these things are very important to realize that sisi wote tuko the same. Tuko na changamoto tofauti. And that's why unakuta KRA wanaangalianga such cases. Ama labda kuna kitu ulifanya na after kuassess that thing wanaona no. Ulisaidia hivi na hivi na hivi. Ama ile pesa ulipata kwa hivi na hivi na hivi. And they assess it and they see ilisaidia somewhere else. Then we have very smart people within KRA to analyze such cases and put you
into that bracket.
In that bracket. But sasa mimi nikiwa nje naangalia kweli kuna Mkenya kuliko ule mwingine. It's all about knowledge. It's all about awareness.
Okay, as you said in the beginning, really. Yeah, you know, people should be aware ndio my feelings ziweze kuondoka.
Tuweke my feelings kando. Ndio tu appreciate.
All right.
Because ule mtu KRA akikuja kuelezea watu tulifanya hivi because of this, I'll explain here, hata utafeel never it's worthy.
All right. You've been doing a lot of this mentorship. Let's talk about pro-mentors a little bit. Where and how so far you've been?
We've been doing mentorship not for long. This is the 28th year doing mentorship in this country.
28th year. That's not so long.
And okay. I found myself started mentorship because of how I've grown up. I've grown up, even my father, a very good, handsome man, used to tell me, you're stupid like your mother. And I didn't know as a boy child, it used to affect me the way I reason and the way I look at things. I didn't know it to affect me even academically. I didn't know it to affect me even relational-wise. But I thought ni kawaida, nimezaliwa dando, mimi msewa ghetto. And then these are the upbringing was a challenge. So that's where I started, and I found one person, a spiritual person called Father James Brasser, who worked with me with the trauma that I was going. And then I came to realize we are so many of us going this. So from there I started. In fact, one of the training we did is near the high school. Those years when they banned the boys, those years. And I was called there because the police were to do their due diligence, but also we were to look at the psychosocial part of it. How is this? These are boys, these are friends, and how do we relate? So we have been doing mentorship for many years, many schools, even in KU, many colleges. And the mentorship we are doing is working with the young people. Working with the young people so that they can even see far than where I am.
Right.
So those are the mentorship. Also, we've been doing mentorship in corporates. Because the moment you are stressed at home, mental health, performance at work will go down.
Right.
So those are the type of mentorship we have done. The other time we did a mentorship for KDF, DEFCO, Defense Forces Canteen, because these are civilians working within military grounds. And the military have their own software, how they've been brought up with those things. So you need to understand, this is this component and this is component. How do I synergize them? And we work in a harmonious way.
Okay.
If I don't understand, we are scared in you see, you start now fighting. So we did a training for the whole country, and it was very successful.
Okay.
And we are doing to other various corporates,
Right.
so that performance can go high.
Speaking of corporates and business, young people, as the ones you say you are walking this journey with, are aspiring entrepreneurs. And maybe someone watching you as an aspiring entrepreneur, is there a way that Pro Mentors can help them navigate the complexities of tax compliance and also maximize the benefits of being tax compliant?
Truly. In fact, most of the guys I have in my office and everything are those who are past are KU students. And I've worked with them a lot. And one thing, in mentorship, we have even about business, topics on business and everything. And when you're talking about topic of business, even in school, even in churches, like we are working with the Catholic Church, the whole country. Weekend I was with the chairman KCCB, Bishop Kivuva, and we were just discussing about how do we get into the young people to educate them. So using such forums, it is helping us to help the young people to be aware and to pass this message of taxes and other things and mental health, so that they can be sober people, so that they can love their country, because hatuami. So those are the avenue we've been using.
Interesting, because
right now we have developed a module, mentorship modules, which will be running in Mombasa Diocese. Mombasa Diocese, in the structure of Catholics, it's composed of 4 counties. And we have other modules that we are putting in universities. Not examinable. Examinable is based on individual concept, how to avoid those issues of young people killing each other. Not only young people, even people doing things that are not understandable. So those are the things we are doing within the country.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Patrick Maina, for that. And if you want to reach out to Pro Mentors,
Pro Mentors Africa, if you want to reach out to Pro Mentors Africa, is Might Live. If you look like Might Live, you'll get, or 0706 0706 42 and 10 at the end. That will get us in our offices, and we'll be in a position to work with you. And I welcome young people, because there's a lot of things we're doing there. We need young people, and I say young people a lot, because youth to youth mentorship is more powerful than umeleta mzai kama mimi wa 70 years kubonga na vijana na sio mzai na tushone nini. So I'm so much on forming young people, so that we can pass the message of mentorship to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want you to
we are based in Kahawa West, our offices.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we are based. And we are available at all time.
Okay. Yeah. Last month was mental health awareness, and this month is tax returns month. And I've seen a very nice way in which you've related the issues of the mind, and how people view taxes, and their position in society. Maybe just a last remark on ensuring that watu hawana hasira as they head out to file their returns this month.
Guys, I will tell you, please be aware, tax is part of our story. Kenyans, tax is part of our story. Learn about it, understand it, and you'll avoid unnecessary stress. You'll avoid condemning your own country and your own leaders. So just be aware of that one. Go Google, do research, understand it. It's so easy. It's so very easy. So please understand it and become Kenyans, and we love our Kenya. And Kenya is the place to be. Atuhami.
Right. That's Mike Live on Twitter, who has joined us this morning to speak about taxes. He is the CEO and founder of ProMentors Africa. You can reach out to him, the numbers that have already been provided, but also check them out on their physical office in Kahawa West. That's Kiambu County, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for having this with us.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'll be back in a short while to take a look at much more stories of business this morning on Biashara Tuesday. Keep tweeting, keep sending us your conversations and feedback on the SMS/WhatsApp numbers. We'll be right back.